I was sitting in my English class, and this girl next to me, who happened to be an exotic dancer, she introduced me to an agent, and at the time I had no idea it was an agent. She gave me the number, I called him. I went in with a portfolio that had like probably about 20 models, you know, regular mainstream model shots. And he's got Penthouse and Hustler and Sherry and High Society all on the back of his wall. And I had no idea, you know, what that was at the time. And then he started explaining to me what he does and how much money he can make and how much he could get for my first shoot and this and that. And it's like, wow, that's how much I make in 2 weeks. That's awesome. When I did my first 2 movies, it was with my ex-boyfriend. And it was really easy to do because he was my ex-boyfriend. I mean, we were together and it was very comfortable, and it wasn't like I was having sex with a stranger. And, you know, in my head I've always said no to boy girl, and there's countless interviews out there of me saying, no way, I'm never gonna do it, ever. And so when I signed with them, I signed under the assumption that I would do it with my ex, who was going to be my future husband. So it just made sense. I'm like, cool, he's gonna be my husband, and I'm gonna have sex with him. Awesome. This can't get any better. And you wanna sign me? Great, awesome. So we made 2 movies. We ended up not being together. And the 3rd movie I made with Tommy and Voodoo, and that was actually really difficult. Voodoo and Nicole shoot photos all the time. So, you know, I shot with them, and I mean, it was something that I thought that I could handle mentally and physically, but come doing it, it was actually extremely difficult. It wasn't as easy or the flip of the switch as, you know, some people might say it is, or, you know, being able to block out the idea of having sex on camera with somebody you met an hour ago. I guess the difference between contract and non-contract is, I mean, you're with a large company. I'm with Vivid. I'm only allowed to work with Vivid. But being a non-contract independent girl, you're limitless in the amount of money and scenes. And I mean, geez, if you're a nympho and want to have sex all the time, it's the greatest, and you get paid lots of money to do it. I found that the more you do, though, the crazier you get in the scenes, the less you get paid. That's something that I've noticed in this industry, is the more you do, the less you make. And each girl has their own motivation and why they're in this industry. They all have their own reasons, and you don't always know exactly why, because you never really get that close to a girl. All you know is that you're all in the same industry, you're all in the same boat. Obviously, some make more than the others. I mean, there are girls out there who are independent and make maybe 2 or 3 times as much as a contract girl. But the level of who they will become is completely different, depending on how they handle their career.
So how did you stumble into this business?
I started when I was 18 years old, and I shot with Penthouse magazine. And I became Penthouse Pat of the Month in March 2001. It's a long time ago. That's how long I've been in the industry. And from there, I became Penthouse Pet of the Year. And I toured the country and did every TV shows, radio shows, you name it. It was like porn star in training. That's kind of how I saw it. And finally, one day I was like, I really want to have sex with a girl on camera. And I'd done my research. I actually talked to Adam and Eve. I talked to Club Jenna. I talked to Wicked. I talked to Digital Playground, and obviously I talked to Vivid. And Steven from the get-go offered. I walked in there with like my business plan, my resume, the whole 9. I emailed their tech guy the night before and said, here are a couple of pictures and my stat sheet. Here's everything that I've done in life. I want to only do girl, and that was it. And then the next day, Steven called and said, well, let's fly you out here, and we'll sit and talk. I don't know about girl, but why don't you come in and we'll talk. And walked in there. It's like, let's go. I'm going to get a contract. And I never thought that it would actually happen. I wanted to shoot girl, so I figured the best way to do this would be to talk to these people, and if they say no, then I've not lost anything in life or in my business.